out there in Radio Land. I'm Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is the podcast.
This is the Mighty Fish podcast for the week of September 1st, 2016, year of our Lord.
What's going on, Ryan?
Well, Josh, not a lot.
It's been a while.
We're back after a short hiatus.
Yeah.
Not a lot was going on. We were a little busy.
Except for personal projects and whatnot.
Nothing that the...
There was illness and trying to get college straightened out.
Yeah, nothing that the general podcasting audience would care about. We haven't seen a lot of the new releases. Not like there's a lot out there.
Yeah, it's kind of dry right now.
There was Sausage Party,
which your brother saw.
Yeah.
Wants us to watch. We need to watch.
There was Kubo.
I really want to see that.
And I also want to see that, but it is already tanked and no longer playing in our general theaters. We have to go to the discount theater.
Yeah, and I fear...
And that is an evil place.
It's a terrible place.
There's no bigger hive of
no
scum
greater
and villainy.
hive, yeah.
There was War Dogs, which I was somewhat interested in seeing.
I'm kind of interested in War Dogs. I'm more interested in Hell or High Water.
Same, and the reason we haven't seen that
limited release
is a limited release, but I believe they've done a wide release now.
Is it general public now?
I think so.
Can us non-voters go see a movie now?
Yeah, they waited. They played out the 99% on Rotten Tomatoes thing long enough, and now they're going to release it to general audiences.
Oh, I guess it's of quality enough for the plebs.
So there was things.
That's the meat cake.
There was things we could have seen, but overall there wasn't a lot. So we apologize, but at the same time, they would have been somewhat dry.
Yeah.
Well, we have a wealth of things to talk about today.
So many things. We don't have a lot to talk about.
What have you been up to or have seen in the old universe?
Well, keeping with our way behind the times.
Yeah.
I just finished season 1 of Mr. Robot.
Awesome.
I thought I had a handle on that show.
Yeah.
When it first came out, because I watched the first couple episodes.
Well, me and you have made snarky, because I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, and we've made snarky comments about, like, Fight Club comparisons.
Yeah, well, I mean, because that's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah, but allegedly, according to Brandon and now I'm guessing you,
myself, yeah,
it does go off the rails.
There's a bit of something that's a surprise that comes out of left field that you're just like, what? When? How fucking nuts are you? You know, because it's you're living in his delusion. You gotta take a swig out of your fucking kego water over there.
Just ignore it and continue.
I think it's ridiculous, but it keeps you hydrated, so that's good.
It does.
I just love you sitting there hugging it like it's a teddy bear. It's your security blanket. It's like a giant baby bottle.
This is for working class people, Josh. All right? This isn't for babies.
It's for the pimp on the go.
Yeah. It's hot outside. I have a hammer and my jug of Coleman water.
On one side of your work belt is your hammer and your power drill.
No.
And on the other is your big ass.
No work belt. That's fucking for scrubs, dude. I have the interstate jeans.
Oh,
that have the hoop.
With the hoop? I thought that was for like a paintbrush or something.
Not in my world.
Not in my world. That's for hammering.
And then I keep my keep all the rest of my tools in my cargo pants. Yeah, that's right. I'm wearing Painters interstate jeans under cargo shorts.
Under cargo shorts.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that block the hammer
And then
loop?
I cut.
You cut a slash.
Yeah, well, I do the juggalo slash in the super baggy jeans, so it covers up my my chucks. I don't know, the weird chucks, not normal chucks.
No.
The Converse.
Those are
You know what I'm talking about?
Those are
Pumas. Let's just go with Pumas.
Oh, the ye old Jonathan Davis Adidas.
Yeah. Whatever.
Is that I thought Juggalos wore like Doc Martens with like.
I don't think they can afford it
with wacky.
They
colors.
drink Faygo.
Or like, yeah, well, dude, they drink Faygo as a statement. I thought that was just.
It's a statement of their poor economic situation.
I don't think it is. I think it's just like the ICP drink the Faygo. That's
I
just
feel like
Juggalo.
you know a lot about ICP.
I lived with an IC with a Juggalo, dude.
No, you didn't.
I did, dude. His name was Henry. He was my roommate down at Brooks College when I went to a fucking one of those for-profit
You went
trade
to a for-profit it probably wasn't vocational,
school?
but I think it was just a for-profit private school.
Yeah, something like that.
Where none of the were unaccredited, so none of your credits transfer.
Exactly.
Unlikely to transfer is the commercial state.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
no, his name was Henry, and it was all. If it wasn't 9 Inch Nails, it was fucking ICP, and it was those two.
Did he try to combine the
all
styles,
day
or
long.
did he go full juggalo? Or are the styles similar already?
He didn't go full juggalo unless he was going to some kind of event for the ICP. Like, I don't know if they ever played in California, but there were times where he was in full garb. Like, with the stupid clown makeup.
Yeah.
And, like, he would put on the maximum amount of spikies. And then wear, like shitty off-brand jerseys.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And the I don't know what the fuck they weren't parachute pants.
No.
Do you remember the
they're the biggest,
Jinko jeans?
The biggest
the Jinko
fucking jeans. Yeah. I say Interstate, but I don't. But I may have been thinking.
I think
Jinko.
Interstate is the.
They probably made the same fucking
They probably
jeans.
made the same. Yeah, they were all
Yeah,
knockoff
but
brands.
they get cut. I think they cut them on purpose, but maybe not until after they get fucked up.
I don't know if they get cut or if they just get roughed up from fucking dragging on the
because they
ground.
get roughed up.
Yeah.
But then do they cut them to like I don't know.
I don't know.
This is
I don't know.
Very
this is a weird coverage. Yeah, but no, he leaned more towards the I'm sad 9 Inch Nails type of, like, he didn't wash his hair.
I got you.
And it was a lot of blacks and, like, tight denims. Until there was, like, some kind of ICP.
Here's the thing. Back to why we started talking about this. The Faygo. I don't, and what type of shoe wear properly encapsulates what a juggalo would be wearing. I don't think any person of any sort of wealth would be a juggalo.
I disagree.
All right.
I disagree. I believe that you could be well off and be a juggalo. Like, you like what you like, you know?
That's fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Think about all these fucking rich kids that wander around pretending to be hippies.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
But then, like, but there's a difference. There's a difference because I feel like this day and age, you have to be well off to be that dirty and that hippie and live off the grid.
Oh yeah, no, because they also bust out their MacBook Pro and their iPhone and their new iPhone and whatever else. Yeah.
They've all got their credit cards.
It's not real
because they got to pay for their fucking refuse powered Volkswagen somehow.
Yeah, there's no real hippies. That's the problem. So if you're a hippie, you're probably just a fuckhead who has. Yeah. You know.
But I feel like it appeals most of the juggalo. I feel like the juggalo appeals mostly to that suburb, you know, like the wrong side of the tracks crowd more. But I believe that there's still some hanger-ons from that are a little well off. You know, I wouldn't put it past like a middle class suburban family to be just plagued by juggaloism.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
So anyway.
But I believe, and this might be, I guess I know just as much about ICP as you, but their message of Faygo was because, like, they came up poor and they had to drink Faygo.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, it's Shasta.
It's Shasta.
Yeah.
For
Shasta
on the other side of the old country.
Yeah, on the
except
East
for
Coast,
Alien Beef Jerky, they totally had Faygo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have all their...
Did you buy any?
No, they have all their... Because it's just Shasta. I know that. I have the internet.
Never had a Faygo.
So, no, because they have all their, like, fancier sodas there, too. And then all of a sudden they have Faygo. And I'm like, oh, weird.
Well, maybe there's a lot of
juggalos coming through
Yeah.
from the Vegas shows.
Yeah. Like that one day we were there and we didn't know Marilyn Manson was playing a concert.
That's true. Yeah, that was weird. At the House of Blues at the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, it wasn't Mandalay Bay.
Yeah. So how did we get on this?
You were talking about your fucking giant juggo juice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is a hard-working man's Coleman beverage cooler.
I like that the sticker is still on there.
It's filled with water.
Yeah.
If I filled it with soda pop,
then you'd have a problem.
Yeah, then,
I would be a little more serious if you were filling that.
Yeah,
the
then that's
thing.
just the total fat guy.
Dude, well, that's my dad. My dad,
the big handle insulated jugs that you get from Big Jug.
Yeah.
The super gulp.
Yeah.
For the
No,
fun.
my dad, he carries one of those, dude. He every time you drink, it makes that noise. It's so gross.
It's got to let air in.
My dad has one of those, and he's had that. Not the same one.
He's had the same one for 15 years.
No.
It's been washed twice.
No, but dude, okay. You're not far off the mark. Legitimately. He had the same one from the time I was in like elementary school until I was in like high school. And I think my mom like stole it from him like 10 times and washed it. So as far as I know, in that span of time, that thing was only washed like 10 times. And it used to be just Pepsi.
Yeah.
All that went into that thing was Pepsi.
Sugar.
And now he says it's tea. So he's always got tea in there as far as I know.
But not real
But that's
tea.
what he...
But
No,
like brisk.
no. He goes to Valero.
Yeah.
In the gas station. Because they've got the best tea. And I'm like, why don't you just make tea at home?
Yeah. Sun tea.
Yeah, make some sun tea. You know, basically just throw a bunch of tea bags, forget you put it out there.
I mean, sun tea is so obsolete now. Because they have cold brew tea.
Yeah. But anyway. No.
Welcome to Tea-Cast.
Yeah, welcome to the Tea-Cast. It's a new focus for me.
We're pivoting.
We're pivoting the Mighty Fish podcast to talk more about drinks and giant receptacles.
Drinks and niche community clothing guidelines. Which we'll actually get more into later with one of the films that we watched. But continue on your
What are you talking
on your big
about?
jug. We'll get there when we get there. Continue about the big jug.
I feel like you're going to sneak something. What did we watch?
No, Punk's dead. SLC Punk 2.
Oh, God, yeah. We'll talk about that gem later. Fucking movie. No, so I finished Mr. Robot.
Okay. We're back to
If you want to get back on
That's
point.
fine. I kind of wanted to know where the big jug story was going.
Oh, dude, no.
When did he get the second one?
Oh,
How
dude,
did the
he
first
got
one
the-
perish? So many unanswered questions.
Okay, well, I didn't know you were hooked into the narrative, man. I would have kept going. And he fucking broke the handle.
Oh, okay.
He shut it in the door of his van. He used to drive a 1954 Chevy cargo van. And as he was getting out, he shut the door. And it closed on the cup, and the handle broke right off in his hand. So then he continued to carry it around for another year or two. And this was my junior year of high school.
Just carrying it like this.
Yeah, just carrying it like that. Yeah, like a big cup.
Okay,
But it
not
was
with like a duct taped on handle.
No, because he has his pride. He carried it around. I love my dad, all right, but he's such a character. He cracks me up. He's carrying this giant cup around, and he could palm it. My dad's you've seen my dad. My dad's big, so he's just palming it with his hand. He just palmed this big. He looks so ridiculous. I feel like you use it more for the joke than its convenience.
It's very convenient. I don't have large enough glass. We have an abundance of pint glasses because all we drink is beer. So when I need like a tumbler or something, like we don't have one. Oh, you know what? I'm full of crap. Check this out. I saw this the other day.
We'll be back in a minute.
And I don't know why I continue to use that when I found this. And I don't even remember getting it.
What is that?
Look, it's the Star Wars Force
Dude,
Awakens.
I remember when you got that Force Awakens cup because you sent me a picture of it, I think, and you made fun of me for not having one.
That sounds that sounds plausible.
Yeah, no, I remember you getting that. You were in your apartment, I believe.
So I have the theater
or here.
Oh, it would have been here.
Yeah.
So I have the theater release graphic plastic cup for Star Wars Force Awakens. Anyway. Just thought I'd let everybody know about that. So I lied. There are tumblers here.
Yeah, there's a tumbler or two.
But anyway, I use it for convenience.
So then he didn't have anything for a little while, and he was like sad all day because he was having to buy drinks all the time. And
those
my mom,
flimsy plastic, especially if you're getting 64 ounce.
Exactly.
Those things are flimsy.
Exactly. Well, because my dad goes bigger. He doesn't go at all.
That's not the expression, but I get you.
That's him. That's his expression.
Okay.
He goes
You
bigger.
go big or you don't go ever.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like sad all day for a long time because it was just like, I'm paying for the cup. I keep paying for the cup. I keep paying for the cup. So my mom finally broke down.
Like how much? Okay, how much are you saving? What is the price to refill the giant
Some
guy?
places have deals. Like I believe it's AM PM. Like if you have your own cup, it's like 99 cents.
Okay, instead of the $1.89.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so he's been losing 89 cents left and right.
Yeah.
And he's in turmoil.
Yeah. So he used that. He was doing that for like a year or two, and then he
Okay,
got a smaller one.
Okay.
But it just wasn't.
It wasn't working for him.
It wasn't holding the amount of Pepsi that he can consume. So my mom went to Walmart, and she got him one of the big ones. And it's this huge, fucking dark blue and steel one.
Nice. I thought you had to use their branded ones.
Apparently not. Well, he's also good with a lot of the because
he's established relationships.
Yeah, he has established relationships, like legitimately, dude. Tom's knows him by name. That one gas station over there of popular,
On a popular route.
name, a popular route and title. They know him by name.
Yeah.
So he goes in there and they give him all kinds of shit. So I don't know if that's legit what you're saying. I know he wouldn't go to 7-Eleven, and I think 7-Eleven is the one that has the.
Yeah, you want
have
to
to
use their
have
branded
our
one.
cup.
I know AM/PM has their branded ones. Valero, I'm sure. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does he go to the? I mean, I know he doesn't because you just said. But imagine having that bad boy when it's bring your own fucking cup day at to get Slurpees at 7-Eleven. People fill up crock pots and shit. But dude, just bring your big ass insulated fucking
Dunk.
Yeah, I'm serious about Slurpee.
What's up?
Well, I mean,
But yeah, anyway, so he got that 9 years ago, I think.
nice.
And he's been using it ever since. I've seen it washed twice.
All right. Well,
It's disgusting.
I don't know where I thought that story
I don't know
was
where
gonna
you
go.
thought it was going to go either. The cup came to life, and now they have a friendship.
But yeah, I mean, I can respect having large amounts of beverage on at the ready.
Yeah, it's
But
it's
Pepsi,
just funny.
but
to
Pepsi
watch
or soda, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start drinking half gallons of that. Not only because I think it would go flat, it'll be watered down at a certain point.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He does not
On top
care.
of the mass calorie intake.
Yeah.
But for water,
My
I'll
theory
keep
is-
my Coleman beverage cooler at the ready.
My theory is that he has smoked so many cigarettes over the course of his life that he just has no taste buds left.
So he's like, ooh, that's cool and bubbly.
Exactly. Oh, it's fizzy on my tongue. It's obviously quality.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's medically proven.
I don't, about the taste buds, I know that it affects you somewhat, but fucking, he probably can't smell anything, right?
Oh, he can't smell for shit. Dude, I've
Gas filling up the house?
exactly. I was just going to say, I'll come home and I can smell just.
And to be
And
honest,
I go and I turn off the burner, and they're just like, "Was it on?"
yeah, and to be honest, that's not, because obviously your mom doesn't smoke, right?
Yeah, no, she's.
But I was gonna say,
But she has terrible allergies.
because
so.
I've walked into the same situation as well, where I'm just like, this fucking burner's on.
Yeah.
So I know that as well.
Yeah,
It's not a smoking
smoking
man's
specific. Yeah,
incident.
it could be, but it's yeah. No, he can't smell shit, and I don't trust him when he says something tastes good.
That's good.
This has no flavor at
That
all.
still has the
And I'll
wrapper
be-
on it.
I'll be eating the same thing that he ordered, and he's like, "This has no flavor at all," and I'm like. No, we're both eating the same Burger King burger right now. It tastes like crap.
It's Burger King.
It's Burger King. And he's just like, I've had way better burgers than this. I'm like, of course you have.
It's Burger King.
And he's just like, can you taste any of this? And I'm like, Yeah.
Tastes like Burger
It
King.
tastes like Burger King.
That's funny. All right.
But, yeah, that's...
All right, I guess we can get back to Mr.
That was an amusing ad. There's not much to talk about. I finished it. I don't want to spoil it for you.
No spoilerinos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a really good show. I really hope that you... If you don't, dude, just fucking do what you did with Game of Thrones. Skip the first season and fucking just go. Just jump straight into it.
Just go with
Just
it.
jump straight into it.
How many episodes is it?
10. It's a 10
I can get through that. I've been saying that I'm going to do it. Maybe one of these days.
Good.
I'm like, I should watch Mr. Robot, and then I watch 7 episodes of Peep Show instead.
Well, as much as I like Mr. Robot, I like watching Mark and Jeremy struggle to get through life.
Yeah, like
To be their own roadblocks.
that's just a show I never get tired of.
Dude, I'm with you on that one. I've watched a couple episodes with you, and it's been so fucking funny. I haven't watched it since we finished it.
Yeah, which doesn't take long.
No, it's what, 6 seasons?
It's 9 seasons.
9 seasons, 6 episodes.
Yeah,
long.
but it's over 12 years, and there's only like 6 episodes a season.
No. They're always good.
And they're always good. So, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Some video game stuff
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe take a stab at.
All right. How about that? I know World of Warcraft was a big deal for you.
Yeah, World of Warcraft Legion launched at the worst time. Here's my cycle. So, when I was 14 to when I was like 19,
Yeah.
I played. So 2004 to 2009.
Yeah. Because when I first met you, you were absent from quite a few events.
Yeah.
Because of raiding and whatnot. Because this is like, where's Ryan? And they were just like, oh, he's at home. There's some kind of raid going on.
Exactly.
And I was always like, they're raiding his house?
The police?
The cops? What did he do?
So yeah, I was very into World of Warcraft, and then 2 of those years would have been the first expansion. So I played big time raiding, all that good stuff. Then I took a little bit of a break because real life and women and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Drinking beers.
Yeah.
Then
Being a bro.
Then Wrath of the Lich King came out, and it was pretty fun. I played through most of that expansion, but pretty leisurely. Mm-hmm. Then I got Cataclysm 2 days after it launched and played through that. I hated it. I leveled
Was that the one with the big dragon?
Yeah, that was the one with Deathwing.
Yeah.
And they ruined that fucking.
I remember the trailer and being like, so he's just really, really sad.
Yeah, well, and they ruined the fight because you fight stuff on his back and then you fight his feet. That was the big raid at the end of that expansion. I hated it. I think people liked it, but I couldn't stand it. I went max level, did 2 dungeons, and was like, fuck this, I'm out.
That does not sound like a really cool epic dragon fight.
Yeah, and then Star Wars,
Old Republic.
The Old Republic launched somewhere after that, so
it was pretty cool.
yeah, went in on that. Fucking ended up being kind of broken near the. They fixed a lot of stuff.
The mid and late game was bad.
Yeah,
I played that for a while.
So then, Mists of Pandaria came out.
And you could play a Kung Fu Panda.
And you could play Kung Fu Panda,
You could
and
pretend you're Jack Black.
yeah, and I played the shit out of Mists of Pandaria.
You started a panda character.
Yeah,
I remember coming over to your place one time.
Yeah, I started from launch. I started leveling a monk, so I think, the first night I got up to level 60 or whatever. But I ended up leveling a monk. It was cool, new characters. I was super into it, and then got bored of it. So that was kind of my cycle. I would play a new expansion, have some fun, or hate it. In the case of Cataclysm, have a little bit of fun. And then stop. So Warlords of Draenor, everybody hates that.
That was the one with the Pokemon battles, right?
Pokemon battles came in during Cataclysm, I think, or Mists of Pandaria. I forget.
I just remember you talking about it being kind of cool that you could battle your
It was
pets.
pretty cool because you had all these vanity pets, and then now you could battle them, and I think they've carried that on. But yeah, Warlords of Draenor, you played it. Leveling was fun, and then you realized how antisocial and lame it was. You were sitting in your own little garrison, and you never did anything. Stopped playing that. Then Legion comes along, and I'm just kind of I'm tired of this cycle of play the expansion for a little bit, and then be bored of it and be like, fuck WoW. Like, why do I keep giving them money? So it launched, but we're obviously super busy with school and this and other things.
Yeah.
And fucking...
But do you
I want to play.
You feel the need.
There's a new class. Fucking, they have all these
What's the new
world Demon Hunter.
Ooh.
And you carry like big like
Demon.
Illidan fucking blades around. Glaives, as they call
I was
them.
gonna say, is that the double-sided sword thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that much about it other than it looks super cool. And fucking...
So the trailer for it, I thought looked
yeah,
pretty cool.
it's the launch was good, which Warlords of Draenor was terrible.
Yeah.
The launch has been good. The leveling looks fun. The end game looks like they may have figured it out and make you like do stuff again instead of just sit around and play a Facebook game almost. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was why I love MMOs and like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. Like why I can't stop fucking waiting because like we played WildStar.
WildStar was fun.
We were big into WildStar.
I liked WildStar.
And that one was really good. That
Yeah.
one's a shame that it didn't fucking...
That is a very big tragedy.
Because
I
like
really thought
with the
that
Old
game was
Republic, it
great.
had some problems and
I heard that's found its feet. Same thing with Elder Scrolls too. I've heard.
and now it's pretty niche and they have
Yeah.
a pretty dedicated fan base. But with WildStar, it's just going down the tubes.
Yeah. Even with
Even
the
with the
free-to-play?
Steam launch, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, because it's been free to play for a while.
Ah.
The Steam launch, they were just trying to get more.
That's right.
More
Dude,
players.
well, I know that you and I downloaded it. We played that one night.
That one night.
And I don't think we've played again.
We've
Like,
never-
I think I uninstalled it.
We've
actually.
never hit the other one up to be like, you want to play?
Yeah.
But yeah, we played like we had like a 48-hour like
Yeah, dude. I went over
launch
to your
party
your
sesh.
apartment and we set everything up and we landed, quote unquote.
land, yeah. But the reason I can't stop getting into MMOs and World of Warcraft and stuff is this expansion launched, and what they're doing with the expansions now, I think since the last couple, is a quest pops up and you follow the quest to get to the new area and start the new expansion.
Yeah.
Like that's how it works. In this expansion, everybody has like these class halls and artifact weapons and like cool quest lines to unlock gear and like perks and all this stuff, and they're just trying to add a lot of content for all sorts of play styles. But somebody went on the forums and was like, I can't start the expansion because 10 years ago during vanilla I went, and this is back when like reputations really mattered, because I don't think in WoW now rep is that big of a thing. It's a very old school style MMO thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like 10 years ago, I went around killing Moonglade guards, and I'm hated in the Moonglade rep. And the person who starts their quest is Moonglade. So he can't talk to the person to start his thing to do it. Like, a total oversight. Like, nobody... This is a random neutral faction. You have to just be... Like, 10 years ago, he had to have just been bored in being a dick and just kill guards to get to that point. Like... He was probably the only person in the world who had this issue.
That's funny.
And like these funny little things, like back in the day, I don't know if you heard about like the disease outbreak in World of Warcraft. They added a new dungeon, and it had this mechanic with a boss fight that it's a disease that you have to clear, but if you don't, you spread it to people 5 meters around you, and it's supposed to like if you don't decurse, your group's gonna wipe. Well, somebody got it, ported to a main city, and it started spreading and killing entire servers worth of people. And they were like trying to teleport people to the middle of nowhere to like quarantine it. And like they've been real epidemic people study this.
Like it's like Outbreak?
Yeah, it was like a total outbreak.
They've got like Dustin Hoffman elves and shit trying to cure it.
So this guy can't get the expansion started, and fucking they either have to hot fix it for him, which like them getting around to fixing shit is always a slow process, or he has to go and just kill mobs like from 10 years ago until he grinds his reputation
Until he grinds
up
his rep back up.
to start the expansion.
That's actually pretty funny, dude.
And I'm
That's
like,
interesting, and that's
God.
I see why, because it is its own little world.
It's the own little community in this world, and you never know what, like, when you put in the variable of the human element and being in a world with real players and stuff and real economies and all that stuff.
Like Eve.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're crazy.
Eve is nuts.
That is
Eve
almost
is insane.
Completely player run.
Oh yeah. They just make the game and then everybody else does this.
So I saw that, and like on top of the content looking pretty cool, I'm just like, God damn it, World of Warcraft, man, just never stops amusing me.
Oh, it's funny, dude, because I've had this private joke to myself about you and that stuff. I was like, he's just always chasing the dragon, man.
It's true. I have been.
He got that taste for it, and then he sobered up, and now he keeps going back.
It's true.
I've often wondered, though, like, are there focus groups?
12
steps for,
for
online players?
I don't know if that exists today so much, but it was it was considered a problem back in the EverQuest and early WoW days. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid and D&D had a bunch of like help groups and stuff like that.
Oh God, I don't know if there's enough to delve into in current market MMOs. Like they're more casual.
I was gonna say there are a lot of toss away games now. Like I don't think anybody plays them as seriously. There was a post on Reddit not long ago where they were like, "What happened to MMOs?" I think there's a lot of things that killed WoW
was both good and bad.
Yeah.
It launched the genre to new heights while setting like an impossible goal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, like I think there's a lot of things too, like the free to play model, which always ends up being pay to win. Yeah. Microtransactions in general.
Heavy microtransactions. The thing with that SWOTOR pisses me off with is you can only do so many battlegrounds or dungeons a week.
Yeah.
Like,
and like when I was playing it was free to play, and like your inventory is a joke. You can't do things that are necessary to play. You could. I don't know if it's changed because I know they've made a lot of different changes to the model. But back when I was playing the free to play, dude, like I got to level 40, I think, with it, and the game started to peter out. And there were things that I couldn't do. Like crafting was a joke. I couldn't do that because I wasn't paying.
It's free to play, but just to give you a taste and coax you into paying.
Exactly.
Into paying the subscription fee because they still have a subscription.
Yeah.
But then they also have microtransactions on top of that, where people who have a subscription are still doing microtransactions. Yeah, because
like, when you started playing with me, you were limited as well on things that you could do, and you had a subscription.
I didn't have a subscription, but I bought the game at a certain point. So I had certain perks, but not as somebody who would currently be paying for a subscription. So like with WildStar, theirs is very fair.
I liked their system when I just from the bit we played. I was like, dude, this is just as good as it was when I bought the game.
When we bought it and we're playing it normally. You're not restricted from anything. The microtransactions are usually to help you with like housing.
It literally is just what a free to play game should be.
Cosmetics, some things that could help you, but you weren't being held back from a normal standard. And on top of that,
even just in the normal game, like I could see you putting restrictions on the multiplayer PvP kind of stuff. But like when I'm just playing PvE, why are you restricting me? This is ridiculous.
Exactly. And when we went back to the free to play model, we also had kind of a leg up because we bought the game. We pre-ordered it.
And
we
had
in
a
beta
bunch
too.
We did the beta.
So we have like free mounts and things like that. That like some people, if you came in brand new, you wouldn't have a mount right away unless you paid for it.
I don't think I wanted to maybe set up like a dummy account and fucking run through with like a different email and stuff like that and see what the difference was.
But I know overall they have the fairest model.
Yeah,
I think they're going down the tube.
I've heard Elder Scrolls Online has a pretty decent model too.
But
they're pay to play.
That's pay to play, but which is fine. You can pick up a copy for like $30.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Guild Wars is supposed to be decent.
Guild Wars, same pay to play model. That's very PvP based though.
Is it? Because it used to be PvE. From what I recall.
Not a lot of ESO still has dungeons and raids and things of that nature.
I heard from a lot of people that it is a lot like just a single player Elder Scrolls game, but you can play with other people.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna check it out. Now I kind of feel like it's been so long.
I know. Well, I was reading this thing about a guy that was like, he's like, I really like those games, and I was wondering if it was on Reddit again, and some people were saying it was great, other people were just like, this game sucks.
I was gonna say it's weird. There's a huge split, and it's from the same type of people. There's people who love Elder Scrolls who love it, and people who love Elder Scrolls who hate it.
Yeah,
it's never like, I love that, but I hate Elder Scrolls, or it's like the weirdest split I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because I know some streamers like Dan loves Elder Scrolls and just was like, I'll never play Elder Scrolls Online.
Well, he doesn't really go in for a lot of that.
He's playing WoW right now.
Is he playing WoW right now? Oh my god. Yeah, that's funny.
So anyway, I just wanted it was a long history of my MMO to come to that tiny little story, but on top of that, played a little bit of the No Man's Sky.
Yeah. I've been hearing nothing but great things for that.
It's exactly what everybody says. You have fun for 6 hours. It's very shallow, and then it's done. But it's a $60 game, so they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, that's what I heard, dude. I heard from a lot of people that they were like, if this was a $20
early access game, not even a full release. Like if we knew more was coming later.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't.
Well, because they made all kinds of promises too. That it was multiplayer. And God, there was you could name your own worlds, and that you
could name your own worlds, but that
you were actually in real time going between star systems and galaxies and whatnot.
There was just so many promises. I don't want to beat a dead horse about it, but because it's dead.
Oh, that's dead. Yeah, you were saying you checked on Steam and no one's playing.
Steam charts 0 people playing. So
I know some people are still playing it on PlayStation, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. They don't have, but that's the thing.
That'll change as soon as like the next.
Well, I was gonna say, as far as PlayStation's concerned, like sure they're getting fleeced. It's still $60, but they don't have anything like that on PC. It's a real fucking hard sell because
that's a community that's been around for forever.
Exactly.
You've got games like Elite Dangerous, even early access Star Citizen,
Eve.
There's
degree. Something like there's another one, but yeah, Star Citizen at Gamescom wrecked them and
Star Citizen is out of control, dude. Yeah. I have never been perplexed by my inability to mouse and keyboard more than with that game, because that game intimidates the shit out of me, but I love everything I see for that game.
Yeah. So it's a hard sell. It's $60. It doesn't run well, and there's a ton of other games that do it better. So, but like on the PS4, I get it if they're still enjoying it. That's all they got. That's all they got for that genre, the survival space bullshit. Yeah. So I mean, whatever. But
I have heard from other people that I watched that stream that they'd rather just play Ark.
Yeah. Or anything like that.
Or Rust.
We Happy Few or whatever.
Yeah, We Happy Few and all that shit, yeah.
Yeah. It was I had fun. It was kind of cool. And then you jump a couple times and you're like, that's everything.
Yeah.
That was the whole experience.
That was it.
And spoiler alert, if you give a shit, fair warning, if you have the patience to get to the center of the galaxy, you choose it, you engage jump, and then the music starts and it slowly starts panning out and you start going through all the stars and seeing the universe get the galaxy get smaller. Then it pivots, you discover a new universe, and you just start over. You don't get to go there. You don't see what's there. You don't do anything. Like, holy shit.
Maybe this jump will be the jump that takes him home.
You have to be kidding me. And then somebody was like, well, maybe if you do it a few times. One fucking guy has done it 11 times, and it happens the exact same way.
Are you fucking serious?
So,
oh my God.
It's just a pile of crap.
It's
too bad. I mean, I wasn't hyped for it anyway. Yeah. I don't care. I've never pirated a game before in my life. In my life. I was curious how the game was going to play because it was so fucking terribly optimized. I ended up playing 4 to 6 hours of it, so that's not that excuse is out the window. But like, I would have refunded it anyway. I could have fucking played it for 4 hours and refunded the motherfucker. I don't care. It was terrible. So I wasn't even hyped enough about it to pre-order or fucking buy it or anything. So there we go. They managed to make a shitty enough game that I finally pirated a game. I've never done that.
The FBI is coming for you. We just lost like half our audience right now because of you.
They have no respect.
And your illegal ways.
No respect. So, yeah. I mean, I would feel bad, but I don't. At all. I installed it. No, I didn't. It's still there. I'll uninstall it. Other than that, I mean, that's it for fucking gaming at the moment.
Yeah, I played 2 old StarCraft games.
Sweet.
They're still just as good.
Yeah.
Brood War in the first game. I love them. They're simple. I love them. That's about it for me with games.
Yeah. Well, do we want to go into the last part of this discussion, which is, and it's going to be short, but how terrible Netflix, because we talk about Netflix movies a lot.
We watch a lot of Netflix because we don't really have a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, well, Josh doesn't.
You fucking asshole.
I couldn't just let you have it.
You couldn't just let me have it. You gotta put me on blast as poverty-stricken.
No, we watch a lot of Netflix because we like to.
Yeah, exactly.
And on top of that, it's hard to get to the theater and see movies, especially like...
Well, in our given area, we don't get to see a lot of the movies that we want.
And say, you know, my girlfriend wants to go, but you want to see something, and then our schedules have to... And it's just it's hard to go see the movies sometimes. Yeah. But, yeah.
You're just fucking swinging for the fences right now, dude. I'm going to kick you in the dick as soon as this is over.
But we watched this. I'm sure this has a limited run, or maybe you were able to buy it for a tick there, kind of like Turbo Kid, which 1,000 times better.
Oh, Turbo Kid was a fantastic movie.
Worth a purchase for sure.
Yeah, if you're a fan of B movies at all from any time period, you should check out Turbo Kid.
Oh, yeah.
Very great, very lovingly made homage to a lot of really good post-apocalyptic fantasy sci-fi type of films.
Yes, and we had talked about Turbo Kid a bit in another episode.
We have talked about Turbo Kid a bit.
But that's not what we're talking about today.
No, we're talking about The Hidden Gem, the sequel no one was waiting for.
Nobody.
SLC Punk 2. Yeah. Punk is dead.
Punk's dead.
That movie,
and that's the actual title. It's Punk's dead. SLC Punk 2.
Oh, I did it.
It's backwards, but still, that's the real title, which kind of blows my mind.
It was the most.
Dude, this suffers from so many things.
It was better than Joe Dirt 2.
Yes, but.
Not by much.
But not much.
There's another movie that we watched.
It didn't frustrate me.
It didn't make you angry.
I was terribly bored.
Yes, it's very boring.
And confused by why
the choices they made. Yeah, why is this the is?
Yeah, why is this?
Why is this? Yeah, that was the question that we kept asking. There's another movie we watched called Rise of the Fellowship.
Another Netflix gem. Way lower budget, probably.
Probably, but
unless Triune was fun. I don't even know if it was Triune. I don't know who makes Lord of the Rings.
I don't know. Dude.
Online.
I don't know, but very obviously sponsored by Lord of the Rings Online, of the same quality.
It wanted to be fanboys for Lord of the Rings.
For Lord of the Rings, yeah. There basically whoever wrote, because the guy who wrote the movie also directed and starred in the film.
Yes.
As the older brother character.
Yeah.
But it was very much, this guy watched fanboys and was like, well, I like Lord of the Rings. People like that Lord of the Rings. I'm going to make fanboys for Lord of the Rings. And it's awful. But anyway, it is.
You know what? I had told you, because the reason we're talking about this is I had said it was
in between. It was in
of
between
Joe Dirt 2 and Rise of the Fellowship. I didn't even realize the parallels between the relationship of the punk fucking girl with the pink in her hair and the main character. Oh god!
I feel that was a more established little back and forth.
Oh,
because that carries through the whole movie.
The whole movie.
And then in SLC Punk 2, she fucking hates him for the whole film. And then her dad shows up. She smashes the shit out of his car with a fucking 9-iron.
Let's save that because that
I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just like, and then he's like, I think I love you. And then they're just like, oh, you're great. We shouldn't be together. Let's make out. Yeah. We're totally doing it now. And it was like, what?
And I was like, I thought she was Crash's girlfriend.
I thought she was too. I thought they were flirting for like the whole fucking movie.
It's true.
And like in Rise of the Fellowship, it's kind of like there's some glances.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit. That was probably the best written part of that whole movie.
Probably.
Was because like that was established. Like you knew they were going to end up together.
Especially.
It wasn't going to be that tongue-wagging nerd that was around. Literally. This kid, his comedic talent is sticking his tongue out and
oh god,
you know the one I'm talking about, the one with the glasses. Yeah, that fuck.
We'll get off. We'll get off of Rise of the Fellowship for now. But let's go back to SLC Punk 2. So, like you said, it's not as bad as Joe Dirt 2. It's not aggravating. It's more of like a terrible, low budget, misguided thing.
It was like a fan wrote it. Like
almost.
A fan of SLC Punk wrote, but didn't get the storyline. But it's the same guy.
I feel like they could have taken a fan fiction and made it
better,
and it would have been better because it would have felt like SLC Punk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through the plot of this movie.
All right.
Okay.
Give it the rundown, Ryan.
It starts with a shot of the wiener who plays Khadgar. Yeah, I can't even remember his name in the Warcraft movie. Who, if you go back to episode 2 or 3, whatever one we talk about after we've seen it.
I think it was episode 2.
We talk about how he was just the worst
fucking part of that movie. He's awful. Ben Foster got overshadowed by that pile of shit.
Yeah.
And Ben Foster is one, a much better actor, and two, a much more interesting character.
Oh yeah, Medivh. Well, no, Khadgar and Medivh. There's a cool relationship.
Oh, I imagine he's really interesting in the lore, but in the film, Khadgar is so. Yes. Who gives a fuck?
So the wiener, yeah. So it's the wiener who plays Khadgar
plays Heroin Bob's son.
Yes,
and as you may recall, for anyone that's seen it, spoilers: Heroin Bob died at the end of SLC Punk 1. We are dealing.
Which I feel like it's oh God. Shouldn't have to say SLC Punk 1.
Shouldn't.
So, yeah, it's a shot of him like getting his ass kicked or something, and then it cuts to Heroin Bob, who's looking old.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's an elderly man at this point.
He doesn't have a real mohawk.
No.
It's clearly a bald cap.
Yeah,
mohawk.
and you can see the line from where his scalp meets the ball. It's terrible.
Yeah, so...
And the mohawk isn't even like a synthetic hair. It looks like it's some kind of other type of fabric that they used to make a mohawk. It's like plastic.
It was bad, yeah.
It's awful. But he's a ghost.
Yes.
And you can tell he's a ghost because he's in their old apartment and they've added a blue filter to everything.
Yes, he's very CTB.
Yeah.
So he just spouts off lines and 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 lines of expositional dialogue.
He is Captain Exposition in this film. He does not need to be there, but he was the one they could get from the first movie because Matthew Lillard's
the main two.
The main two, yeah, because Matthew Lillard's apparently so busy. Waiting on that new Scooby-Doo film.
What are they making fucking Trouble with the Curve 2?
Without a Paddle 3.
Oh God! Did they make a second?
There's
one?
a second one. He's not in it, but there's a second. I think it's on Netflix
you know what?
too.
He's making. You know what? I'll give him that. If he's skipped over on other terrible sequels other than Scooby Doo 2, then like, okay, his thing is like,
Maybe
I don't do terrible
lesson.
sequels.
Maybe he learned his lesson from Scooby Doo 2.
I'll give him a pass.
Yeah.
But
anyway, he's basically there just because they couldn't get Matthew Lillard back as well, who would have made sense in that his character was very sorely missed in this and would have made more sense than what they did.
Yes.
Because what they did, I feel like he made an anyway.
They shoe in a climax that would have used Matthew Lillard's character.
Instead, you get Devon Sawa, the guy who took too much acid and thought Heroin Bob was Jesus.
Yeah.
In like a 5-minute scene.
Yeah.
And they make him an important character.
Yes.
And that's pretty much the entire film is characters who had little tiny bits now suddenly being very important to the plot line.
And they all know Khadgar, all right?
They all know Khadgar. I don't even, what was his name? Like Dante or something?
I don't even remember.
Stupid like
I
that
don't even remember the character's name. It was that bad.
Yeah, because we remember Crash, who's trying his best to be Matthew Lillard.
He's trying. Basically, it's like he's like goth or something, and he's got this weird thing with death, and then he's really sad, and everybody's worried about him, and then you slowly learn why he's sad, which is because
you don't slowly learn that. It's like the next scene.
Some
after
girl
broke. Bob dumps exposition all over you.
That's slowly for this movie. As in, we learn he's sad before we learn why, without having it explained to us.
That's true.
So he's sad. He's with his friends and he's drinking beer. He doesn't drink beer.
They're not even his friends.
Crash is his friend.
Crash is his friend. Okay. Yeah. But I feel like Crash is just cool with him. I don't think that Crash was his friend.
Heroin Bob says his one real friend.
All right.
So,
because Crash is cool with everybody.
So he's drinking beer, and I'm explaining this to you just as if Heroin Bob was. Almost the same way.
This is exactly
he's drinking beer, but
word.
he doesn't drink beer. He's so straight edge, blah, 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 blah. He's got this weird thing, because I'm dead, and blah, blah, blah. Then he meets this girl. Now he's really sad. Cut to him in the car drinking beer with Crash and this girl.
And girl.
Not
girl that he's sad about.
And then his mom, Trish. Well, I guess we should explain that. Heroin Bob knocked up Trish before he died.
Heroin Bob knocked up Trish before he died. Annabeth Gish's character, the hippie girl that he was banging out on the side in fucking SLC Punk.
So she gets a phone call, and it's like, oh, that was Crash's mom. They're driving around, and he's been drunk. And I'm like, the laziest plot device of all time.
And she owns a steampunk store?
A steampunk store instead of the head shop she had.
Yeah, but like, it's even if you don't know about the head shop, a steampunk store. Like, a steampunk store.
Don't you wish we had a steampunk store?
Okay, I like steampunk. I think it's fucking super cool. But a whole store... We tried to have a rockabilly store up here, and it closed down immediately.
That's true. This movie basically... tried to think it was cool by being like, oh, punk's not really the real thing, so let's throw in a million
trying to appeal
things.
to
like
groups.
Emo Shelley
Emo Shelley works at the steampunk store, and she's you picture. Have you ever read a joke about emos online? That's what you're getting with Shelley. It was trying to appeal to groups and genres that this guy clearly does not understand at all, because punk is gone. He was very obviously balls deep in being a punk. He was he was obviously immersed in the culture. He knew what he was talking about. That movie seemed very relevant.
It's kind of weird though.
This is just all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. Like it was a decent film, so I thought that he would be like really into filmmaking.
Yeah,
and that's clearly not true because
not the
of this
case
movie.
At all. No,
because you feel like he could have made her on a decent,
I feel like SLC Punk didn't require a large budget to begin with, except for maybe gas for their van.
Sweet van.
Oh, dude, the van was great.
So let's, I'm just gonna get through this. So nothing happens. They drive around. and talk about how Khadgar talks about blah blah blah. I'm sad. I'm drinking beer. I never drink. And his mom is like, I just don't know what happened, and is just like sitting around talking.
She's
about
freaking out because he ran away, but like she's mad at him and he's mad at her, but that's never established.
Yeah, ever. Like
she's really mad at Heroin Bob, which was never established.
No, we shoe that in at the end.
That's at the end of the
movie. To make it
yeah.
seem like the movie had a point.
Yeah. Which is where all the plot resides, in that last 5 minutes.
Yes. So she sits around in her shop while we get introduced to every single small useless character from the first movie, being like, oh, I just heard from Trish, she's missing him. They all go to her shop instead of doing anything.
Yeah, they just hang out at the shop, and then
they talk about how he's a good kid. Yeah. Then he talks to his friends
and we're all amazed at how all these side characters, he knows him? How does he know him? Oh, I'm like an uncle to him. That's the joke that goes on through the whole movie, is every side bullshit character from SLC Punk is apparently an uncle to him, and they're all surprised that they're like an uncle to this guy.
That's true. I guess they did set up the end a tiny bit with that, because she was surprised that they all knew him, and they're all like, oh yeah, he would ask me things about his dad.
Yeah.
And she's just like, he could have asked me. Like,
yeah. Well, and that brings us around to our point that we were going to talk about later. Where is Matthew Lillard? Obviously, he was banking on Matt just wanting to be in this movie, and Matt said no, so then he had to make last-minute adjustments.
They used clips from the first movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that kind of licensing or rights or any of that works. Why could they have not given us a little bit about what happened to him with clips of the old movie?
Because he went off to law school, right?
Yes.
At the end of it.
Yes.
And, I mean, they don't even mention him.
Mm-mm. That's why I'm saying, why didn't we get a mention of it?
Yeah, like, I mean,
was he just fucking pissed that he couldn't get him to come
Bob's
back?
best friend.
They were the two main characters.
They were the two main characters, and he was Bob's best friend. Only posers die.
Well, yeah.
Only posers die.
Yeah, so they tried to set up something, but literally nothing happens.
Until the very end.
They drive in a car, they're going to a punk show, he complains about how sad he is, this girl broke his heart.
This isn't even like a road trip movie. You just cut to them randomly by the car, in the car, out of the car.
Oh, they all went the same way. They pulled over for no reason. They talk, they get in the car, they start driving.
That's right, yeah.
They do drugs at one point.
Yeah, they eat magic mushrooms with some Rasta guy they find.
Yeah, and then they're at the punk show. And this is cut back and forth between Trish
at the shop. They obviously had two sets.
Yeah, hearing that people fucking know him, and then finally they're like, we're going to go find him. He's probably at this punk show. Then they get to the punk show. There's nothing there to even talk about. They talk about nothing.
Then they get to this punk show, which obviously there was just a punk show going on in the town.
Yeah.
So they had a punk show. There's no talk of who they're there to see.
No.
There's no, like, we got to get to Punk Fest 16 or whatever. You know, there's no talk of this show. There's not even a mention. He just up and left, and they go to this punk show.
Yes, that's it.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, they get there. The mom and all of the side characters get there, and they find him. And he's had when he gets there, he's had this realization that he's a punk, I guess. And that
he's always been a punk,
and that he likes this girl,
and he loves his dad.
And his dad, it's fine.
And his mom's, she's okay.
Yeah.
Because there was all this conflict that was going on between these characters that you're just discovering right now. At that point in the movie.
Yeah.
There was all this character depth that was never established that you find out about right then.
Yeah. They find him. They're like, oh, everything's okay. He's going to be all right. Mom, I'm leaving. It's all good. We all good? Roll credits.
Oh, no. Heroin Bob has some parting words.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember.
And it was he just flipped off the camera.
Oh, yeah.
He said some bullshit speech that I think was like some I'm 14 and this is deep kind of shit. And then flipped off the camera and then the credits roll.
So, like I said, it's not as frustrating as something like Joe Dirt 2, but nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's nothing like the first movie. There's nothing even there to like commentary on a sequel basically. I don't even know why it's called Punk's Dead. They don't even ever talk about that.
Maybe because Punk is dead.
Yeah, I don't.
And that was, maybe we missed the meaning that there was no genre.
So,
anymore.
yeah, the Khadgar is a wiener. That guy is a fucking terrible filmmaker. It was terribly written. It was terribly paced. It was terribly edited. Oh, and it was
the editing is awful.
It was written, directed, and edited by him. By the way, it starts with that. So I'm just kind of like, ugh, that's probably not great. Overall, if you liked the first movie, and a lot of people do,
it's a good movie.
Don't. You'll see it on Netflix under new releases. Just stay away.
Just pass it.
If you think we're being vague or leaving something
it's got
out,
like a star and a half, I think, on Netflix.
That is the whole movie. We're not lying.
No. We left out one part of character development that comes out of left field and is never expanded upon.
No, we need to talk about that.
We talked about that. You bring it. You talk it. You tell it.
So
you talk about it.
This movie has the tone of the movie up to this point has just been like them at the shop talking about Bob and him.
No real emotion or depth.
It's been wow. Khadgar,
it's not even lighthearted.
No, it's wow. Khadgar's so weird and he's so heartbroken. God, he's such a weird dude. But we're punks and we're going to this show. And then all of a sudden and we're drinking beer. So it's just that. It's just boring is the tone, I guess.
Yeah. So then we get to the gas station.
Then we get to a gas station and you hear, hey! And it's like, uh-oh. And it's the girl character's dad, okay?
Yeah,
and
who comes out of nowhere.
And I'm just like, all right, this is going to be the scene of just like, you're a fucking dumb bitch, like, you punk, I'm a strict no. That's not what happened.
That's not what happened at all.
It's just like, you're a little slut bitch and blah, and he punches her
straight in the face. Yeah, busts her nose.
And then she goes and smashes his pickup truck. And then fucking is
like
just
a crowbar or something.
Fuck you, Dad, I hate you. You're going to be jerking yourself off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, she's like, you can jerk yourself off from now on. And then goes and gets in the car. And that's the end of that. We're just supposed to deal with the fact that she's been sexually molested and physically abused.
Out of nowhere.
She comes out of nowhere.
And then, like, here's the thing.
And then she and Khadgar fall in love.
Yes,
immediately.
Like 5 minutes after that.
Because they cut back to Trish and crew at the house.
There's not even story. There's not like a beat in the story to recover from that, or for her to like come to terms, or like anything.
No.
So it felt odd.
It's like they took the outline of the movie, the shot list or whatever, and were like, no, we can do this.
Yeah.
This is where we go. There's no pacing. There's no development. Everything is just to get to the end of the film.
Yeah, it's this meandering nonsense, nothing's happening movie, and then you throw in this heavy character moment out of fucking nowhere with this very far in, almost near the end.
Oh yeah, dude, there's only about 15 minutes left of the movie.
Fucking out of no, and it's just like, wow, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I got.
That's what we watched here recently. I saw the movie Paddington.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about Paddington?
I'd rather talk about Paddington.
Would you like to talk about Paddington?
Watched it with my nephews.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
Would you like to tell me what Paddington is about?
Paddington is about a lovely little teddy bear. He's a bear from darkest Peru. It's based on children's books.
Okay.
And it was just like, normally I fucking hate these hollow cash grab fucking, oh look, it's a 3D version of your beloved childhood.
Yeah.
You know, graphics heavy nonsense. But for some odd reason, something about this was whimsical and magical, and it made me happy. And I just wanted to say that briefly because that movie made me so mad. You were like, oh, it's not that frustrating. And I was like, it fucking was.
Yeah,
that was such a terrible movie.
When we were watching it, because the thing is, here's another thing I should mention. I watched the movie twice.
Yeah, that was the second time watching it, but this is the first time you watched it all the way through.
But I had turned it on, realized it was crap and started doing other stuff.
you were doing
and I had
housework.
missed large chunks of it, so he seemed interested. I said, it seemed pretty bad, but I don't think it was that bad. And then when I had to watch the whole thing, it was that bad.
Dude, we got up and walked out at one point. We took a break in the middle of the movie because it was so bad.
And it's only an hour and 9 minutes long.
It's just not, yeah, it's the bare minimum of fucking
Yeah.
runtime. It's,
So, yeah, well, that's good that Paddington brought you back up.
Paddington
I
was
don't
great,
think I
dude.
was able to watch anything after that. I think that's the last movie I've watched.
oh man, no, Paddington, I can't really recommend it to adults.
Yeah, obviously.
But if you've got like a niece or
Because
a
that one's like a
nephew-
real small child
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Well, he comes here and he learns how to be a people, and he learns about having a family. But there's these nice little asides in it and stuff like that they do. Like there's a magic to it, and I like that. It's not like an actual magic, but like he goes to an antique dealer, and while he's telling him the story of being or the antique dealer's telling him the story of being an orphan on a train, he's watching this little steam-powered toy train go around, and he sees like the story on the train and stuff, and it's kind of cool. Little things like that. There's a lot of things that make me think of the better parts of Wes Anderson in it. Like there's a little toy house in the room that he stays in this family's home, and whenever they talk about the family, the little house opens up. And you see what each member of the family, while he's talking about the member, like the dad, he talks about the
So there's
dad.
some interesting
And
filmmaking.
there's some pretty cool stuff on top of having a lot of little sight gags.
Yeah.
And dude, it's one of the punniest movies I've ever seen, and I fucking love puns.
Yeah.
So that was great. But there's little like oh no, he smacked his bottom. There's a
Yeah.
couple fart jokes in it and stuff like that. The little kid stuff. But it feels well crafted. And it doesn't feel too overblown. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the movie with my nephews. If you have little kids in your life, definitely show them Paddington.
That sounds interesting, but I have to ask you this. How does it hold up against Fred Claus?
Why is that the metric for every... This isn't the first time you've asked me this.
Because that makes people really think about it. Because what can you even say about Fred Claus?
Oh my god.
What is that movie even about?
Learning to love your brother. Dude, wasn't that a Christmas movie? There's another Christmas movie that was released in the middle of the summer. Didn't
Was it?
Fred Claus come out in the middle of
I'm
the summer?
not sure about that. All I know is it was garbage.
Oh, it was fucking terrible, dude. That was the movie where I started to question Paul Giamatti's judgment.
Right.
And I just started feeling very sad for Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, bro.
I'm sure it wasn't, what was it, fucking Four
Christmases?
Yeah.
Nothing is that fucking bad. Oh my god.
I forgot you hated that much. I remember telling you, like, yeah, it was bad, but, like, it was what I expected.
I hated that fucking movie. That movie made me mad at Robert Duvall. Like,
oh, yeah, Robert Duvall.
yeah, oh no.
Was a
Yeah,
piece of
Robert
shit in that
Duvall's
movie.
dude, he's so awful in that movie. Like, I like Jon Favreau and I like Vince Vaughn a whole bunch, but I wasn't very surprised that they were in a crap movie like that.
Yeah.
This is Robert fucking Duvall, dude. Come the fuck on. What are you doing? It's like every time I see Robert De Niro in another intern type of flick. Come the fuck on, dude. You're Robert fucking De Niro, dude.
Dude.
You can do better than this. Just disappear like Pacino has. Oh, God, though. He was in Jack and Jill. I take it back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, these older guys, I think they just are like,
They just get to the point and
I've
they're
done
just like,
shit.
"Fuck
My
it."
career is where it was. I'm just gonna do money stuff.
You know what? Sean Connery fucking took one hit from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and said, I'm not doing this anymore.
He's
and
Sean
stopped.
Connery,
But he's Sean Connery, yeah. I mean,
So, all right, I think that might be it for
it's
this
been,
episode.
yeah, we've been talking for a while.
We don't have a lot. We're just gonna keep ranting about
Yeah.
movies we hate at this point,
Exactly.
which would be pretty funny. But
we should do one like that, maybe.
we could do a top 10.
Yeah. Oh, dude, a top 10. We've tried to do top 10s as friends, man, and we can't. It's just like, damn it, I
The
forgot
top
that
10 worst movies. I think
one.
we
Oh,
could
top
do that.
10 worst? That would be interesting.
That doesn't invoke as much passion.
No.
So, all right, this has been fun. Yeah.
It's been kind of a kind of a scattershot episode. A lot of them are probably going to be like this for a bit while we try to get things settled and together.
We'll start.
We have actually filmed classic catch-up.
Yes.
We're in editing. We're in the editing process. That should be up within. What do you want to say?
It'll be up in a week.
About a week.
Yeah.
Okay. About a week. It should be up. It's rough, so be patient with us.
Yeah. The first episode, we got tired of promising that it was coming, so we finally just did it. We didn't have everything how we wanted it, but
we got to work on some structure. But I think it's an overall decent product, and you should check it out.
Yeah, but it'll be all right, and it'll give you an idea of what to expect from the series going on. But yes, we have filmed it. It is about halfway finished.
Yeah.
Editing, so it's almost there, and that means we actually have something.
We actually are going to deliver on a promise.
Yeah, there it is. And then, of course, we got skits coming and more podcasts weekly.
Yeah.
Because, for right now, Wednesdays are still the days,
Yeah.
even though this comes out on Thursday, but you don't know.
Yeah. Until you look at the post date.
No. So you can find us on all of the podcasting apps, including iTunes. We are on SoundCloud as well as Mighty Fish Productions. We're on YouTube at Mighty Fish Productions, where you can find all of our skits, all of our podcasts, and our new series, Classic Catch-Up, coming in the next week. I have been Ryan.
I am still Josh.
And we will catch you on the other side. That's an expression.